What's up to all my people? And welcome to Stoniecast number 129, Season 4, Episode 27 of Thoughts and Hunches, Making Money in Bunches and Sucker Punches. It's your boy Stony coming right back at you for the 129th time. And I'd like to welcome all of my fellow lowlife, scumbags, hoodlums, shady characters, anybody named Phil Mickelson, altar boys with unhealthy relationships with their priests, hustlers, foul-mouthed raging alcoholics, cheats, friends and family of the gooch, fienders with abusive language, and degenerates. Let's face it, basically anybody with a massive gambling problem. If you're new to the show, hey, that means you probably fit into one or a few of those categories, so welcome. Because you're now one of us, gooba gobba, one of us. We accepted one of... Sorry. Sometimes I get a little carried away. Hey, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down here in the lower right-hand corner. That way you can get notified every time I put out a new video. And to spread the word is also very easy. Just tell other degenerates and scumbags, you know, like Cruz, to go to YouTube and enter Thoughts and Hunches in the search bar. That'll take you right to my page so you can get dialed into everything that I drop on you. Also, if you're new and you don't know what's what with this channel, it's college and pro football winners, MLB playoff winners, and college basketball winners. I give you my picks to get you to the window with a ticket to cash. The books, they're not expecting a guy like me to deliver this many winners. I'm an outlier and a disruptor. I'm like the Beastie Boys. Step into the party, disrupt the whole scene. It's what I do. I go to the mattresses and I get the info for you every week in order to get to the window with a ticket to cash. Now, before I get to the picks, I have a few thoughts as usual. The NBA All-Star Game, the NBA in essence basically, has become a complete catastrophe. The players don't care, and it shows. After you watch this video, enter in the search bar 1993 NBA All-Star Game. And just watch it for 2 minutes. And see how hard they're playing. NBA players were paid well back in 93, but not like today. They're making so much money that they don't care about what anyone thinks or says, unless your name's Kevin Durant. And they don't want to run the risk of getting injured. The three-point contest has always been fun as part of All-Star Weekend, right? It was fun then, it's still fun now, right? The dunk contest isn't exciting anymore because everything's been done. And the game itself is unwatchable, period. If you're watching this product, shame on you. The teams combined for 400 points? Really? We already know that the NBA doesn't play defense in the regular season. So why should they play defense in an exhibition game in which they're not getting paid? I mean, I think a lot of it is that the players have too much power these days. Yeah, I'm going to be the get off my lawn guy and say that Generation X had it best and it was better in my generation and so forth, right? But I'm going to tell you that the original Dream Team members, like Michael, like Magic, like Larry, the Admiral, Stockton, and so on, they all played for the same team and never left. Sure, some of them did. But for the most part, they stayed on the same team. They didn't just, I can't stand it here. I have to leave, trade me. So I can go somewhere else. Nowadays, players leave, or after a couple years they leave, right? And they try to make super teams. Sure, there are exceptions. Giannis, Curry, Tatum, they're all on their same original squads. But all-time greats like LeBron and Durant, and notice how all-time greats, because that's what everyone seems to want to call them, right? They leave every couple years to go somewhere else. If LeBron is the GOAT like he claims, why is he on his fourth team? Why have ratings tanked since Kobe left? I don't know. It's sickening. And I've been telling you people for 30 years that the NCAA product is far superior to the pros, and it's really showing now. I mean, it's just shocking how bad it is. It's not really shocking, actually. It's shocking to you NBA fans. College football playoff drama took center stage again this week as the SEC and the Big Ten are now talking about at least a couple of berths for their respective conferences. While the talk around the NCAA is that they want 14 teams, even though this coming year will be the first year ever 12-team playoff. This is absolutely ludicrous. I've always maintained that I don't like the playoff system to begin with. But if you're going to have one, no more than 6 teams. It all comes down to money, though, right? Because that's what it always comes down to, right? And make damn sure the NBA is going to get theirs.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
That's exactly what the heads of the NCAA are saying. It's ridiculous. And the reason the Big Ten and the SEC are worried is because if you have a third-place SEC school that is 10-2 and they're missing out on a spot to an 11-1 Mountain West school, that's a problem. They don't feel it's the same. And nobody with half a brain does. The NCAA is in trouble as coaches are defecting, players are getting paid, and they have the ability to leave to go to another school without any consequences if their current coach doesn't think he's a starter. It's a joke right now, and it's only getting worse, and I can't fathom what the NCAA is going to look like in 5 years. Let's take a look at the week that was, last week, for me and all of my fellow hoodlums and scumbags crews. An uneven week ended with yet another winning week, though, despite 2 losing days and 3 500 days. The 2 winning days I had carried me to victory, as they were no doubt winning days, especially last Saturday, in which all the picks were given to you in Stoniecast 128. A lot of times, you don't always have to be great. You only have to be great when it matters. And I delivered yet again, as we're about 6 weeks away from the end of the season. And I've still only had 2 losing weeks all year. Tell him, Teddy.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Exactly. That's what I've been doing all year. Last week, here are the numbers. 50 wins, 40 losses. 55.55%, not a huge week, but it's still a winning week. NCAA hoops on the season now. 612 wins, 442 losses, 14 pushes. 58.06%, solid all the way around. Overall, all 25 weeks in every video I've given you this season, 1,122 wins, 806 losses, and 25 pushes, good for 58.19%. It's looking good, but I'm going to have to go big here coming down the stretch if I want to finish over 59. Now, please remember that all these picks that I give you are 100% free. So for all those touts that give you 75 to 80% winners, come on now. We all know you're full of shit. Plus, you're charging for these picks. With me, just come to YouTube every week, and I'll drop my plays on you for free. You can also follow me on X at Stony Woods. The last few days in college hoops, I've been giving you picks in the comments section of Stoniecast 128, and it's been a battle. Going into today's action, I'm at 23-18-1, so I need a nice day today and a big one tomorrow to clinch another winning week. Sometimes, you always want to win, right? But sometimes hanging around is just fine. Teddy, tell us.
Hanging around.
Exactly. Sometimes you just got to hang around. Let's get it all started now. You ready? Tomorrow, noon Eastern, ESPN2 in Fayetteville, where Arkansas is a 5.5-point home favorite over Missouri. Both schools are fighting with Vanderbilt at the bottom of the SEC, and neither will be playing in 4 weeks. That's just the reality of it. Arkansas has dropped 3 out of 5, but Mizzou has lost 13 straight and is winless in the ACC. That's just, I mean, if you're lower than Vanderbilt, you got a problem. That's not going to change in Fayetteville. Give me Arkansas. Lay the number. Noon Eastern on CBS in Waco. The game of the day. The actual game of the day. It has to be the Big 12, right? Of course it is. Another Big 12 matchup. Second-ranked Houston is a 2.5-point road chalk at a number 11 Baylor. This right here is quality basketball at the highest level. Two great defenses and two teams that have their eyes on a possible national championship. Houston's a favorite for good reason, but don't you dare sleep on the Bears. Baylor at home in a mild upset. So not only am I going to roll with the home dog, but I'm on the money line too with a little sprinkle. Tell them, Earl.
Sprinkle me, man. Sprinkle me, man. Sprinkle.
Yeah, every now and then, you need Earl Stevens to remind you to sprinkle me. Noon Eastern on the Big Ten Network in University Park. Penn State's a 3.5-point home favorite over Indiana. The Hoosiers can battle, but they're just not very good, especially on the road. Give me the Nittany Lions as the short home favorite. 1 Eastern on SEC Network in Gainesville. 24th ranked Florida's a huge 15.5-point home chalk versus Vanderbilt. The Gators have gagged on themselves a few times recently, but are infinitely more superior than the Commodores. This one's got blowout written all over it, which means Cruz will include it in a 15-team moneyline parlay that will actually lose money for him by including it because of the odds. Give me the Gators and lay the lumber. 1 Eastern on Long Island. You're all going to call me a honk, but I've got to dance with Stony Brook, -9 at home versus William and Mary. The Seawolves are 4th in the country against the number and have covered 8 of 10. Stony Brook, -9. 2 Eastern on CBS in Tucson. 4th-ranked Arizona is a 14-point home favorite over Washington. The Wildcats are still a team to beat in the Pac-12, despite their massive home upset loss last night to Washington State, which I had, by the way. That was a winner. That was a little chicken dinner that I had just a little while ago, thanks to the Cougs. I expect Arizona to bounce back strong, though, here and crush Washington. Am I taking too much chalk this early? It looks like it, kind of. A lot of chalk early. I don't give a shit. Maybe. Give me the Cats. 2 Eastern on ESPN2 in Ames. 6th-ranked Iowa State is a 17.5-point home favorite over reeling West Virginia. Iowa State is trying to sneak into a 1 seed on Selection Sunday and will win this one easily, but I'll take every one of those points on the road. Mountaineers plus 17.5. 2 Eastern, still in the Big 12 in Manhattan. 25th ranked BYU enters as a short 2-point favorite, road favorite at Kansas State. BYU will be dancing in a couple weeks. Make no mistake about that. So it's K-State. Right now they're a bubble team. And that means that the Wildcats need this one more than BYU does. All right? K-State catching 2 in the Little Apple with a little sprinkle on the money line.
Sprinkle me, man.
And, Earl just, eat Fody water. 2 Eastern on the ACC Network in Raleigh, North Carolina State is a 5.5-point home favorite over Boston College. NC State's eyeing a tournament spot, but BC can make some waves with a road win here. I don't see BCU pulling it off, but I'll gladly take the Eagles catching the 5.5. Staying in the ACC at 2 Eastern on ESPN in Winston-Salem. Good matchup here. Wake Forest is a 2.5-point home favorite over 8th-ranked Duke. Wake already beat Duke at Cameron Indoor, and they can score with anyone. Duke is on ESPN, well, because of course they are. They're always on ESPN. Duke gets the Deacons back tomorrow, with a small surprise here. Even though this one's got trap written all over it for Duke bettors, I don't give a shit. Give me Duke and the points with a sprinkle. 2:15 Eastern on the Big Ten network in Champaign. 12th ranked Illinois is a 9.5 point home chalk over Iowa. The Illini are loaded and playing well, but this is a big number to lay in conference to an underrated Iowa squad. Give me the Hawkeyes and the points. See how the dogs finally catch up. 3 Eastern in Fort Worth. TCU is a 4.5 point home favorite over Cincinnati. TCU has earned tournament status under Jamie Dixon, while Cincinnati's going to need a red-hot finish to get in. Not going to happen here, though. Give me the Frogs at home, lay the number. 3:30 Eastern on SEC Network in Oxford. Ole Miss is a short 2-point home favorite over 20th-ranked South Carolina. Ole Miss has been battling, and they've got a shot at a berth, while South Carolina is firmly in, however shaky they've been playing lately. I believe the Gamecocks were thoroughly exposed by Auburn, and they haven't been the same since. I'm on Ole Miss here in a mild upset, even though they're favorites. 4 Eastern in Orlando in the Big 12. 23rd ranked Texas Tech heads east as a 1.5 point road favorite at Central Florida. Texas Tech is tough and physical, but is in a tough spot here as UCF has been playing better and better at home. I still like the Raiders, though, who will escape with a tight win. This one is the classic who would you rather lose with scenario. Give me Tech and lay the number. A good one at 4 Eastern in the SEC on CBS. In Lexington, 17th ranked Kentucky is a short 1 point home favorite over 13th ranked Alabama. These are two unbelievably athletic and physical teams who both think they can steal the SEC from Tennessee and Auburn. Bama's won 4 out of 5, and UK has won 3 out of 5, but losses to Gonzaga 2 weeks ago and to LSU, where they just gagged all over themselves 2 days ago, still linger. The key is that UK has shown that they're beatable at Rupp. Give me Bama on the road with a sprinkle. Earl?
Sprinkle me, man.
That's, sometimes it's necessary. 4 Eastern on ESPN2 in Stillwater. Bedlam takes place as Oklahoma is a 1.5 point road favorite at Oklahoma State. While Okie State cost me last week in a surprise win, it won't be a huge surprise to see them win this one because OU is a different team outside of Norman. I don't read into that, and I don't give a shit. Give me the Sooners on the road. 4 Eastern on ESPN in Charlottesville. 10th ranked North Carolina is a 2.5 point road favorite at Virginia. Carolina is tough, big, and deep, but they don't play any defense. I was going to say they don't play enough defense, but shit, they don't play any defense. Give me UVA here at home at John Paul Jones Arena, catching 2.5 with a sprinkle. Let's add a little extra to this one. Take it away.
Big timer. Big time. Body water. Sprinkle me, man.
It's just necessary. At 5 Eastern on the Pac-12 network in Palo Alto. Yeah, I said Palo Alto, speaking of E40. That's how he pronounces it. Stanford's a 10.5 point home favorite over Oregon State. OSU's banged up and struggling. But Stanford should know. And they should not be double-digit chalk over anyone in the Pac-12. Despite how much they've been struggling.
I couldn't care less about the team struggling.
That's it, Joe. Right? Give me the Beavers on the road catching all those points. 5:30 Eastern on the CW in the Steel City. Pittsburgh is a 3 point home favorite versus Virginia Tech in a good ACC matchup. Vatek has been tough and could backdoor themselves into a berth with a few more quality wins. But Pitt is loaded, and they are tough, especially at home. Give me the Panthers at home and lay the 3. 6 Eastern on SEC Network in Athens. 14th ranked Auburn is a 7-point road favorite at Georgia. UGA battles, but they're just not as talented enough here. And Auburn is becoming more and more dangerous on the road. It may seem like a big number, but I see the Tigers rolling here and making it look easier than it should be. Auburn -7 in what is approaching lock status. 6 Eastern on ESPN in Lawrence. Another good Big 12 matchup has 9th-ranked Kansas as a 7-point home favorite over Texas. Kansas over Kansas. Kansas -7 over Texas. Texas will be dancing. KU's a lock to be on the dance floor. But are 7 too many to lay against the athleticism of the Longhorns? I say no. Give me the Jayhawks to deliver another decisive win at Allen Fieldhouse like they've done once or twice. 7 Eastern, Pac-12 Network in the shithole known as Berkeley. Oregon is a short 1.5-point road favorite at Cal. Oregon has been disappointing lately. While the golden showers of Cal, they've been playing better. This one looks like a trap, as I have Oregon as a 5-point favorite. At 1.5, they're easy, right? Wrong. Give me Cal and the points at home with a sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, man.
You know? 7:45 Eastern on the CW in the ACC. Clemson is an 11-point home favorite over Florida State. I think Clemson is overachieved, and Florida State is underachieved. Here's a classic middle right here, though, as Clemson wins, but FSU gets the cover through the back door. Noles +11. 8 Eastern on ESPN2 in Tempe. 21st ranked Washington State is a 5.5-point road favorite at Arizona State. Wazoo's riding high after their massive win in Tucson last night. And they sit at the top of the Pac-12 standings in their last year, which means they're primed for a letdown. ASU is underachieved and under Bobby Hurley. And Hurley might be the quickest exit of a Northeasterner turned Arizonan since Sammy the Bull Gravano. I mean, give me the Sun Devils here and the points. And if your balls are large enough, but they got to be large enough, you got to add a little sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, man.
8 Eastern on CBS Sports Network in America's Playground. 22nd ranked Colorado State is a 2.5-point road favorite at Nevada, Las Vegas. C-State is dangerous, and the Mountain West could easily have 6 bids to the dance. But the Running Rebels are playing well lately, especially at the Thomas and Mack. Give me UNLV catching the 2.5 with a sprinkle.
Laser for me.
It's, it's what, I don't know. I just don't even know anymore. 8 Eastern on ESPN on Rocky Top. 5th ranked Tennessee is a 9.5-point home chalk versus Texas A&M. The Aggies are on the bubble, and they need 1 or 2 statement wins down the stretch, which makes them dangerous. But the Vols right now, they're eyeing a number 1 seed. Give me UT and Knoxville and lay the 9.5.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
8:30 Eastern on SEC Network in Collin, Baton Rouge. Mississippi State is a short 1.5-point road favorite at Louisiana State. Yeah, I said Louisiana State because they lose all the time. Don't read too much into their late game heroics the last 2 weeks. That ain't going to last, and it ain't going to work here. Mississippi State needs only a couple more wins, and they're in, while LSU is clearly NIT bound. Give me the Bulldogs. 8:30 Eastern on FS2 in South Orange. Seton Hall is a 2.5-point home favorite over Butler. The Bulldogs are tough, But they won't be in the tournament unless they shock the world and win the Big East tournament. Seton Hall is in and tough to beat at home. Give me the Pirates and lay the short number. 9 Eastern on the Pac-12 network in Boulder. Colorado's a 6.5-point home chalk versus Utah. Both schools are perceived as bubble teams, which means they're both dangerous from now through the Pac-12 tournament. Utah is not the same way away from Salt Lake Stony, but I'm going to roll with the Utes anyway. Middle this one. Buffs win, Utes cover. 10 Eastern on ESPN2 in Spokane. Gonzaga's a 12-point home favorite over Santa Clara. As much as I like the Broncos and their mettle, the Zags, who haven't been playing well lately, know that it's time to pick up the pace, and this is the time of year they usually do. Give me Gonzaga and lay the big number at the Kennel. 10 Eastern on ESPNU in Moraga. Talk about big numbers. 18th ranked St. Mary's is a massive 20.5-point home favorite over San Diego. 9 times out of 10, I'll take the points in this situation, especially in conference. But St. Mary's has been crushing teams lately. And no matter how well the Toreros are playing, they're in serious trouble here. Give me the Gales and watch them win by 35. 10 Eastern on ESPN in Westwood. UCLA is a 4.5-point home chalk over crosstown rival USC. SC has absolutely owned UCLA since Mick Cronin took over 5 years ago. But UCLA's played well the last month, and that included a win at USC. SC has drastically underachieved this year, and Bronny James is just not a good basketball player. So we need to face the facts, and somebody needs to say it. Bronny James is not good. Give me the Bruins and lay the points at Pauley. And finally, for all you degenerates out there, Cruz, this week's Degenerate Special is in Stony Lulu, as Hawaii is a short 2.5-point home favorite over Long Beach State. The LBC has been hot lately, but everyone struggles when they get to Oahu. Give me the Rainbow Warriors to close out the day with a resounding win at home. 33 games has to be enough, even for the most fienderest of fienders, Cruz. 20 wins are what I seek to get me to the promised land this week. As a reminder now, make sure to check back in every day in the comments section of this video for college hoops picks starting on Sunday. And that's going to roll all the way until Stoniecast 1:30 next Friday, right around the same time. Also, right? So just make sure that right around this time that you're eyeing it. So until then, remember that if you want to win big, you got to bet big. You can't go broke taking a profit. Nobody ever has. Scared money don't make money. For me, the action is the juice. There's money on the streets that can't be ignored. And finally, good luck to you. Miss you, Gooch. My brother.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.